Good day. Today we're going to be discussing the universal, knowledgeable to crazy matrix that you should definitely consider when picking a real estate agent to buy a house. This is something that I've developed over the 26 years I've been on this earth, so it's pretty accurate. We start out with two lines, making a graph. This axis is called the knowledgeable axis, and that's the crazy axis. The knowledgeable axis starts at 0 and ends at 10, of course. The crazy axis starts at 4, because we all know all agents are a little bit crazy, and ends at 10. Okay? So here's the knowledgeable to crazy line, and rule of thumb is not to ever use an agent below a 5 on the knowledgeable scale. Okay? This is called the no-go zone. This is the agent that doesn't know the difference between a single wide and a ranch house. They failed the test 40 times and finally got their license by passing with a 70, okay? This is that agent that you don't want to use because it could mess you up in your financial future. Next one is any agent between a 5 and an 8 on the knowledgeable scale and less than a 7 on the crazy scale, okay? This is called the fun zone. They're a friend or family member that you know that you love going out, getting a drink with, playing some pool, watching a game. But in all reality, when it comes down to it, you don't trust them in dealing with your most valued possession, okay? So at some point while you're in the fun zone here, you have to consider moving on to a more permanent location in this graph, okay? So that's the fun zone for you. Next is up here, above the crazy line, okay? So between a 7 and a 10 on the crazy scale is called the danger zone. This is the agent that blows up your toilet at an open house and doesn't flush, or comes in and gives you a high five the first time you meet like y'all are already best friends, or maybe even get you to commit mortgage fraud and get you locked up. This is the agent you don't want to use by any means necessary. Stay away from anyone above the crazy line, okay? Next zone is anyone between an 8 and a 10 on a knowledge scale, and under the crazy line at a 7 craziness. This is called the date zone. This is the agent that you can bring home to your friends and family or your mom and dad and be comfortable with, okay? And maybe think about more permanent ends to a mean, okay? This is the agent that's reasonably not crazy most of the time, okay? That's the date zone. So after the date zone, you have anyone between a 5 and a 7 on the craziness scale, but between an 8 and a 10 on the knowledgeable scale. This is called the marriage zone. This is the girl or guy you want to lock down, you want to put a ring on her, okay? This is the one, this is the agent you want to be with for life. They know their stuff, and they're not crazy most of the time. They're the one you want to lock down, okay? That's the marriage zone. Next zone is a little interesting, okay? They're anyone between that's at a 4 on the crazy scale and between a 9 and a 10 on the knowledge scale, okay? That's called a unicorn. they don't exist. Okay, so if you find one, catch it safely, return it to us, mail it to us safely packaged, and we'll do some lab results and try to replicate it, okay? So I had a friend one time tell me that he met an agent, okay? He said that she was like a 9 or a 10 on the knowledge scale. I was like, okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's hard to find. That's marriage zone material, okay? And then he went ahead and told me that she was a 2 or 3 on the crazy scale. And that's when I really called it BS, okay? And he was mad at me because I called it BS. But then I was like, well, isn't that the reason why you're in jail? Because I was an FBI agent and he was undercover? So, this is where he was talking about below the 4. It does not exist. Okay? So, that is the matrix, okay? And this is not a static thing, okay? So, you have to look at it as an overall statistic, okay? You have to look at the agent in their own environment, in multiple environments, and see how they act. You can't just take this statistic from one environmental interaction. Okay, this has to be from an average. Okay, so that's how it goes. And thanks for watching today, guys.